coming up on the 70% Podcast.
So there's no reason for me to go to the polls August 9th.
Well,
Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not telling you that. Oh, good Lord.
Government or the media has us sold on the fact that we can't do anything about it. That this is just the way it is. Nate, bring us in.
The 70% Podcast with your host, Amy Alexander and Mike Sewell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 70% Podcast. I'm Amy Alexander.
And I'm Mike Sewell.
Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and do all the things you need to do to check
us out on Facebook, like us, comment.
We're on Spotify. We're on
YouTube, Spotify,
Apple something or other. This is why we have Jenny.
It's a good thing we have Jenny because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Can you put us on that thing?
Hey, Jenny, just make us go, put us on everything.
TikTok. We have a TikTok channel.
She's like, what's everything? Like,
everything.
All that
stuff. Yeah. So we were talking about, welcome to the 70% Podcast, by the way. If you are new to the show, what our purpose is and what we talk about is we are under the impression or the mindset that about 15% of the people on the extreme right and 15% of the people on the extreme left are basically fighting over everybody else.
Those are the ones that we hear from. So if you look at the news media, you see people burning shit down and you see people raiding the White House. Those are the 15%ers on both sides. Mm-hmm. And then we have the 70% who are actually going to work every day, taking care of their kids.
That do give a crap, but
doing what they don't care what color you are, how tall you are,
right.
how smart you are, how dumb you are.
Right.
You know, as long as you are a productive member of society,
right, and
you are, you just don't care what's going on either side. You know what I mean? Not care. That's a bad choice of words.
Yeah, I think, in my personal opinion.
No, our opinion as a
70%. I feel like those 70% in the middle can be classified in a scale of libertarianism at some, because that's kind of the middle. Like you want your rights, but right. You don't,
Right. You don't want to, if you want your rights and you don't want to infringe on others.
Right.
Yeah. 70% of us.
I don't know why we are getting so into everybody else's business. Mm. Well, I do know why. Social media.
Is it actually happening, or is that what the media, social media, and all of that want us to believe, that these things are happening in this way?
So basically what you're asking is whether or not we are controlling the narrative or the media is controlling the narrative. Exactly.
So you and I are trying to switch the narrative. We're trying to get the voice of the 70% heard. We want everybody in the 70% brackets to be heard, because we're not on that 15% where we're burning down buildings. We're not on that 15% where we're rushing the White House or anything like that. We're the 70% in the middle who are working every day, who are just trying to make a living and leave each other the hell alone.
Right. Have respect for each other. Educate each other on what's going on, and not taking everything that we hear on the media as fact.
All right. Did you just...
I'm
throwing nuts?
I'm eating dinner during the show, sorry. And I talk with my hands, so there's cashews
so you're eating dinner, throwing dinner? Let's see, where did that...
It's all right. The cat will get it or something. Oh, my God.
Cat or dog or Nate. Nate might eat it. I think Nate will eat it later.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So we have, we were talking
for the last few weeks, we've been discussing politics.
We have been discussing politics because it kind of all boils down to this. I mean, just things that the politics, a lot of people will say, I don't vote because politics doesn't affect me. Mm-hmm. It affects every single person every single day. And people that say, oh, the president has nothing to do with gas prices, that's bullshit.
Okay.
He doesn't directly have anything to do. I mean, it's not like he's going to the gas station and getting up a little ladder and posting the new price. But policies that things like reducing the leases available for refineries and reducing, getting rid of the Keystone Pipeline and things that were trying to make us more energy independent,
Right.
even if we want to go towards an electrical grid more so than fossil fuels.
Right.
That all of that stuff is powered by oil.
Exactly. You know what I find funny? So you have, and not funny, ironic. You have people who are driving around in Teslas, okay, or excuse me, we might have to cut that out, but electric cars. So they're driving around in electric cars, and they are plugging into the power grid, which is powered by oil and gas mostly.
Cool.
Coal, oil and gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how is electricity created? Well, some of it is created
Some of it is created
water.
by wind and some water and stuff like that. But the vast majority, you know, we're talking about coal plants and things like that. So you're plugging in these electric cars and it's powered by that. But we're still using the fossil fuels in order to power those electric cars. You know, so yes, we need to move away from fossil fuels. We need to protect the environment. We need to listen to what's going on in the environment and realize.
What if taking fossil fuels out of the ground is relieving pressure and from under the earth and allowing us to have less volcanoes and stuff?
Okay, you're saying what if? So help me understand that.
Well,
that
just
narrative.
what if? I mean,
Yeah, no, help me understand that narrative. First off, where did that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, I am
but
always.
where did you get that from? And
I
help
didn't
me
get it.
understand
Things popping in my head all the time. Where did I get it from? Let's see. No, it's one of those things where, for instance, global warming, and everybody's worried about global warming. We got to cool the planet down. Well, how do you know that by cooling the planet down, you're not disrupting some natural cycle and going to stick us in another ice age? If you really believe that you can adjust the climate based on human factors, then how are you so smart, whoever's deciding that you're sure that changing this climate, changing this cycle is not going to push us in the other direction?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm not a scientist. Okay. So I'm not going to,
I don't even play one on TV.
Act like I am one. However, that said, if you look at the way the weather is shifting. So let's just take Wisconsin for example. Okay. Every year winter is coming in later and later.
Right.
And lasting longer and longer into our what we call our summer months.
Right.
Okay,
I don't know if is it lasting any longer or is it just
it's
shifting?
cold. It was cold right up until the middle of June this year.
Yeah, but it was warm until the end of October.
Exactly. So it's shifting.
Right.
So is that part of global warming? Is that the shift in global warming that's making these
I think
things
that's
happen?
the shift in the planetary.
If I'm
Okay.
based on what you just said, if we can slow down on fossil fuels and shift that back towards what we know as a norm, January, December, November being our winter months, and April, May, June, being our warmer summer months. I mean, isn't that the goal of changing the climate?
To get on the beach in Wisconsin by Memorial Day? Wait, what? I missed
No,
something.
the goal is to back it back up to the quote unquote correct months. So we're going all the way into November. Sometimes we even get to Christmas with no snow.
Right. Here.
Correct.
And where we are,
Right.
north of us, they have tons of snow.
Yeah. No, what I'm getting at is that we continue to. So, I'm not saying that climate change is actually happening. Okay, it is happening. We know
Climate
that.
change,
but I'm not saying that
happening.
we are such a
Right.
large effect on that we need to start making changes in what we do. However, if that is the case, is what I'm saying. If the scientists that are behind that narrative is correct, then maybe if we gave that up, if we gave up fossil fuels, you're saying that maybe the pressure from the, us pulling out the oils and stuff like that is releasing pressure from the earth, so we're having less volcanoes and so forth. So if we were to back that up, then our weather, realistically should go back to being where we're colder in November, December, January, rather than,
if we brought the fossil fuels
back down. If we stopped using so much,
how are we gonna?
If we didn't emit so
everything that whoever created that glass used oil in the machinery to cut that glass.
Okay, can they have done it another way?
Can you rub two pieces of metal together without oil and still make it effective machinery?
There are papers on being able to use the sun's energy.
Okay.
To be able to light a whole state based on if we had enough solar energy, if we used more solar energy rather than fossil fuels.
Okay.
So the point I'm trying to get at is that there are several different ways that we can change that. We don't have to use oil in order to get our energy, is what I'm getting at. And maybe by doing so, we can lower our emissions.
Okay. So the emissions can't be lowered unless we completely get rid of fossil fuels. We can't improve the catalytic converter. We can't.
If it keeps getting stolen, no. Thank God it's not happening in Wisconsin right now. I don't think
that we're aware of.
Yeah, well, cars in Wisconsin don't have to have them though. Like we don't have the same emissions.
Did. No. I'm pretty sure.
Nope, we don't have the same emissions they do in California. We don't. California is notorious for having, like, you have to go to get what's called a smog check in California. Every year you have to take your car in and have it plugged in and get a smog check to make sure that your emissions are not over X amount or whatever.
And how long have they been doing that?
And if it is, for years.
And
years.
Why,
I was
why is
18
there still so
when
much
it started
smog in
happening.
LA?
I don't know.
So their fix isn't fixing it. Do you know other countries and continents have worse emissions problems than we do, and we're the ones that seemingly have to pay for everything and keep everybody in check? And I don't know why that is. Like, why is Japan, like Tokyo, is their air quality isn't any better than LA? But nobody's, I don't know. I guess I don't live in Japan. I don't know if any, are they getting righted because they're not using the proper emissions and having to pay I don't even know what gas costs over there.
Let's not even start talking about gas. I'm so pissed. It used to cost me $40 to fill up my car.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much it costs me right now?
$72.85.
$75.
Oh, I was so close.
$75 freaking dollars to fill
Do
up
I get
my
anything
damn car.
for being within $5?
There you go. You get a high five. That's about it. That's all I got for you.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, $40 it used to cost me to fill out my car. So first off, the reason why I bought the car is because of my job. I'm a realtor and I travel all over the place all the time. So that's the reason why I purchased the car. Mm-hmm. Figuring, okay, I could save money because I used to drive an Expedition, and
it's a gas guzzler.
Yeah, that I wouldn't even think about. Like, if I was driving that today, it would cost me probably $200 to fill that thing up.
Yeah. And they stopped
wouldn't
the
be able
pump
to
at
show
like
any
$100.
houses.
Like, oh, I guess I get half a.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean they stopped the buck?
The pump.
What do you mean they stop it at $100?
I mean, I don't know if that's. Oh my god, I don't know if that's an all-around thing, but I saw like comments on Facebook, like, oh yeah, this is how. See, like people were. You can only pump so much before it automatically stops.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you there because you said Facebook.
Well, right. But you know what? I think now that I'm thinking it might not be, because you know when you put a credit card in and they do like they fake out a transaction for like $100 or whatever to make sure you have the money to pay. Maybe that's why it turns off, because they've only authorized your transaction up to $100
Oh, it's only authorized.
or
Okay.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
but
that
I've
makes
heard
sense.
some people are like, I can't. Yeah, this is how far I got before the pump turned off, and it's like $100 or $120.
Well, we have elections coming up.
We do. Not November. We have an election coming
We
up
have the primaries
in the
on August 9th.
state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Um,
August 9th.
August 9th.
We have several candidates running.
Mm-hmm.
I told you earlier today that I am going to try very hard to go independent across the board. I'm sick of voting Republican. I'm sick of voting Democrat because I'm not staunch either way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, so if I see a Democrat,
Yeah, I think I'm more of a
that's
centrist, maybe a little right leaning as far as fiscally.
yeah,
but-
I'm a little right leaning as well. But if I see a Democratic candidate that I think is going to do a better job, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him. Forget about it. I'm not going to not vote for him because he's Democrat. You know. However, I'm sick of voting party lines, and I think it's time to vote independent. So I'm going to start researching the independents and see which ones I like the best, and
Okay.
start voting for it
Well, and
for them.
for
Excuse
the
me.
primary, you have to vote party lines
No,
in some cases.
No.
There,
no. There's an independent that's running. Her, what's her name?
Right. But she's the only independent, so she is already like she's past the.
Yeah, so there's people that dropped out and stuff like that. So she's already passed. She's in there. So I'm gonna
Right, because she doesn't have a challenger. She doesn't have an independent challenger, so she just is going to be on the ballot in November. So if you go into your November ballot, you can see where you're what's
So
on
you
your
think she's not going to be in there in November? Is that what you're telling
No,
me?
I think she's going to. Yes, I think she's going to be in there in
Oh,
November. I don't think that you have to. I could be wrong. I don't know that you necessarily. She needs to get voted in. I think she is
Oh, so you think she's already going to be on the ballot? Is what
as
you're
an
saying.
independent
Gotcha,
because she's
gotcha.
uncontested.
So there's no reason for me to go to the polls August 9th.
Well,
Is that what you're telling me?
if you, I'm not telling you that. at all. Oh, good Lord. I'm telling you that on August 9th, there are some people that won't be on that ballot because they're not contested. And if they are on the ballot, then,
Okay.
that's,
Right.
but if they aren't, then I would try to put the strongest Republican or Democrat, whichever, the other strongest person out there. I wouldn't totally not vote.
Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
I don't, because they put us in this situation. We don't,
No, we don't have to be in this situation. They've worked for us. We can tell them, you know what, enough's enough. We're going to freaking vote independent across the board and screw you, Republican and Democrat. Screw you both. We can vote independent across the board. If we believe that the independent candidate is going to be worth voting for, we can clean house. We can literally, the
You would have to
70% of us can clean
Right.
house if we chose to
you
do
would
it.
have to get 75% of the 70% to vote independent in order for that to make a difference.
I think we can do it. It's going to start with me.
All right, I'll see.
I want you to check out Beglinger is her name, Beglinger. So I want you to go to her website, check her out,
Okay.
tell me what you think. Okay, so far what I've read, just on her website, I have to do a little bit more research to find out what other people think of her and so forth. But
Why?
Joanne Ellis,
See, wait a
Beglinger.
second. Now all of a sudden you're letting other people dictate your decision.
That's not what I said. I said I have to look at what other people are saying.
Okay.
I didn't say I was going to allow them to dictate
Oh, gotcha.
how I think and or feel.
All right.
However, I would like to hear both sides. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a balanced news outlet.
Oh, good Lord. Yes, and there's no smog in California. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you are pretty, I mean, you're more, I think, right than I am. You don't think so? Look at,
I don't think so.
oh. I don't,
I'm more right than you are?
I think so.
I mean, I know I'm right more times than you are.
Well, we can argue about that all day long, but I don't want to bore the public with our ridiculous comments to each other. But no, I feel like there's like, for instance, abortion and religion and things like that, you are definitely on the right side. I am very right when it comes to fiscal policy, just spending money, social program. I mean, I want to see where that money is going. I want to know for sure that it's taking
you want
positive
some statistics on how it's working, what it's doing, how,
knowing that there are stopgaps for fraud,
Right.
which, I mean, in this day and age, oh my God, you can't turn around without anybody trying to fraudulently get your account or whatever. I mean, even in our business, in real estate, I have leads that come in and hey, I'm trying to move my mom in from Japan, and if you could just do this, and I'm just like, and only Instagram me.
You know what bothers me about that? I had a customer once tell me that they actually sent someone money.
Oh.
Sent someone money to purchase a house that I was selling. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how it works.
Right.
So I had to break the news to them that, no, you did not get this house.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else did, But yeah, there's a lot of.
I had that happen with one of my rentals. They're like, hey, we got and it's like, what? Who are you? Well, we sent the money over to, that's not me. That doesn't have anything to do with me, but yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah. So people are always trying to scam other people. Always. There's always somebody out there trying to scam. I mean, ever since the word snake oil salesman was invented. Or snake oil was invented? Or salesmen were invented. I don't know which.
Salesman, attorney, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
Realtor.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about how, like, where is all this, the money, if you follow the money. And the three groups of people getting the richest right now are politicians, attorneys, and insurance companies.
What about pharmaceutical?
Pharmaceuticals and the insurance companies are in bed together. Right. Otherwise, the insurance company would never agree to pay for your free COVID test at $90 when they know that it only costs $6 to manufacture, or whatever. What? That's just I'm just throwing numbers out there, but that's the
Right. Okay.
I don't feel like. I haven't seen anybody trying to argue the cost. And then whatever the insurance companies don't pick up, then the government is likely subsidizing. So they're making billions.
The government isn't subsidizing anything.
Well, we are.
We the people.
The people. The money, any of the money that the government spends, any of it, all of it, is spent or is raised through the taxes on the people, on the citizens, Which is why we need to vote the correct people in office who are going to be fiscally responsible, who understand that they are working for the people and not the people working for them. Right.
And who are going to take our needs into consideration when they vote on Capitol Hill.
What do we do with the people that tell us what they're going to do, make it sound really good, but then have no intention of doing it?
See, that's the thing. We have to follow those people. So if we vote someone into office, okay, let's just take the president, for example, okay? Supposedly, everybody and their grandmother voted for this gentleman.
For our current president.
Current president.
Yeah, 80 million people did.
Mm-hmm, right. And thus far, we have not seen what we need to see out of him as a president in order to make the American people's lives easier, better,
right,
more productive. We have not seen that.
Oh, he's too busy.
So,
kind of leaving his
what we need to do
problems out of the.
What we need to do is say, okay, we gave you a chance. You didn't make it happen. Mm-hmm. Now you got to go. And that's the same thing that we need to do with our senators and our governors and, on the mayors, on down the line.
Right.
But we need to take an active part in our small portion of the world. The government or the media has us sold on the fact that we can't do anything about it. That this is just the way it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so there's so many people out there that say, "I'm not going to vote because that's just the way it is." My
Right. Or
vote's
they're
not going to make
so,
it. My vote's not going to make a difference.
Right. Or they're
You know.
so disheartened by.
Right.
I mean, because we know that
It's so big. It's
there
so
is.
big.
I don't care if you don't think that any cheating didn't go on in 2020 for that election. So in 2016, all this cheating got this guy elected, but then in 2020, did I say that right? In 2016. It was like, oh my God, he cheated. There's no way he got elected.
Right.
In 2020, there's no way there was any fraud.
Right.
That can't happen. What?
Yeah. They flipped the switch, you know.
Right.
So in 2016, it's like, okay, Donald Trump couldn't have gotten voted in because it was like, there's got to be a lot of cheating going on.
Right.
In 2020,
Russians
there's
and
got to
all
be a
this.
lot of cheating going on. So either there was cheating going on in 2016 or there's cheating going on in 2020 or there's just cheating going on across the board.
It's, yeah. I don't think there's, and I've watched some movie. Like I did watch that 20,000 Mules movie, the Nash D'Souza.
I didn't watch that.
And, you know, there are arguments for and against how that could work out. And I don't think that it's completely impossible. And the fact that people are writing it off as being impossible that the Democrats could have cheated makes me feel like they are like, why wouldn't you want to dig into that?
So then let's look at the other side of the coin. How about 2016? Did the Republicans cheat?
I don't know. The numbers weren't any different.
What do you mean?
I mean, Trump got more votes than, not by the popular vote, by electoral vote. So he won by electoral college, which that's why they think he cheated partly because he didn't get the popular vote. Whereas Biden got the popular vote supposedly and the electoral college.
Right.
Even though very few people that I know voted for him and that he wasn't out there. I mean, people had to have voted for him just not to vote for Trump then. And I don't feel like enough people would get out of their houses in the middle of COVID to not vote for somebody, just to vote for the other guy.
Well, I know when I went to bed, Trump was well ahead. Mm-hmm. Well ahead. And I didn't go to bed till like midnight. And I woke up at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. and Biden was our president.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I don't know if there was any cheating or whatever was going on. I just know that there was a big switch.
I had an opportunity to be an observer in Milwaukee.
Within 6
and
hours.
I should have taken that opportunity.
A what?
Observer.
Oh.
Election observer in Milwaukee because the positions were all filled in Green Bay to watch because we knew it was a heated contest. I mean, and then I got a phone call and I couldn't get in to do that locally, and then I got a phone call from the RNC down in Milwaukee area, and they're like, "Can you come down today?" And actually, it was the night before. Can you come down tomorrow? And I had already made appointments, and I should have. I'm kicking myself because I could have had some firsthand knowledge as to what's going on out there, instead of just hearing stories and trying to decide what to believe and what not to believe.
Should have.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I hate that. It's my worst pet peeve is the shoulda, coulda, woulda syndrome.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we are the 70% podcast. I almost just said the name of my other podcast. Sorry.
Wow.
And
remember where you're at, Amy.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with Mike Sewell.
And and the 70% podcast.
And Jenny.
Yeah, we're very concerned because I think that we have a lot of not misbelievers, but we have a lot of people that are just going to give up and say there's nothing that you can do.
And that's the thing that we're trying to push here. First off, if we can get 50% of the 70% to actually get out and vote, we can make a real change.
You think 50% of the 70%?
50% of the 70%, we can make a real change.
That's 35%.
We need to get all of we need to clean house. Like, okay, so we trusted Obama to clean house, and he did not do it.
No, I think
Because he was going to, quote unquote, make a change.
Hope and change, everybody. Hope and change.
We trusted Trump to drain the swamp, and he wasn't able to do it.
He wasn't. No, the swamp just tried to get him, spent 4 years of our tax money.
So it's up
getting
to
him out of
us.
the office.
It's up to us. Okay? Don't take responsibility for the rest of the world. Don't take responsibility for the rest of your state or even your city. Just take responsibility for yourself and decide who is going to be the best candidate that's going to respect and protect your interest.
Right. And don't even think
vote for that person.
And not just on a national level, but on a state level, local level. I mean, we're talking mayoral candidates. We're talking school board.
Right.
I mean, we had school board in April, but I mean, going forward, that whole cycle, it has to do with everybody, all of your elected officials, and not just the ones that show up on the media websites, and not just the ones that have a gazillion dollars to spend on.
Right. And we might be boring you to death right now because we keep talking about elections. That's not what this show is about. This show is about being able to prove that 70% of the people in America just want to get along, and we don't want to deal with all the BS on both sides. Okay, that's what this show is. We've done shows on racism. We've done shows on gender, LGBTQ. We've done shows on a lot of different subjects. The reason why we're harping on the elections and stuff is because it's coming up, and the only way we're going to make change, true change, is if we pull together and we get out there and we vote.
Right.
That's the only way we're going to really make a change in this world.
So what kind of changes are you hoping to see?
I'm really, in my opinion, I'm hoping that we do away with Republican and Democrat. We get term limits, things like that. Those are the things I'm looking for. And the only way that we're going to do that is start voting independent. That's my opinion, though. And that's why I'm doing that this year. Like, I'm going to look at the independent candidates, and I'm going to decide which ones I think are going to be the best, and those are the ones that I want to vote for.
Well, if you're looking for term limits, like, there are also other candidates that, like, Ted Cruz is all about term limits, and he happens to be a Republican. There are very few people that you will find will vote themselves out of a job. Especially the current administration or current, especially, I mean, there's 535 people that are just 90% of them are getting rich on knowing what's going on in the world. And
here's the thing. Nancy Pelosi, she's already made enough money. Let's get her out of office. Let her go ahead and retire. Let her live her life. Anybody that's over 70 years old, let's just on the fact that they're 70 years old and older, let's just take them out of office.
Can we make a rule that if they go out of office in that manner, that we get to audit their books on the way out so that we can...
Let's not get crazy now.
I would love to do that.
Let's let them keep their money. Just get them out of office and put people in office who are going to protect our interests.
Right.
I'm Mike Sewell.
I'm Amy Alexander. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And if you want to be a guest on the show, reach out to one of us through the page or to Jenny or to whoever, and we'd be more than happy to schedule you.
Yeah, on Facebook too. Definitely look us up on Facebook. No doubt. Enjoy your evening.